Well, hello again, fabulous friends, and welcome to another video on this quote-unquote fabulous channel. Hope you guys are having yourself a fabulous 2022 so far. I can tell you that Josie and I certainly are, as we're sitting here in the wonderful sunshine state of Florida, USA. As you can see with the background here, a little different from what you're usually seeing. I'm sitting at my home office here. And that will allow me to do something maybe a little bit different over the next few weeks as we are here. From what you guys are used to, we do box breaks, case breaks when we're back in Montreal, all kinds of things in my little studio up there. And here I will have a different setting, as you can see. So I will get involved maybe in talking to you a little bit more about different TCGs that are out there on the market, new ones coming out, Kickstarters, price conditions, market conditions, and so on and so forth. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. A little bit different. All right, so let's get going right away with something which is not quite so new, but with a question I've had over the past months is, Mark, how come you are not speaking about MetaZoo on your channel? And look at this, what I have here, a MetaZoo Cryptid Nation booster box sitting behind here. So asking me why I'm not covering the product, or at least what are my opinions with respect to that TCG. Well, I cannot cover everything on the channel, but as you know, mainly Flesh and Blood here, a little bit of Magic the Gathering and Genesis Battle of Champions. So far, we will have other TCGs coming up for you pretty soon also. But so let me give you my thoughts and opinions about MetaZoo. First of all, when I started creating this video, I want to be, frank with you guys. I wanted to create a typical report card like I did for Flesh and Blood with for Legends Tour Studios back 6 to 8 months ago, right? Where I had a point system that served to evaluate the game, and I had a certain rating of 88% for Flesh and Blood, by the way, after their 18 months of existence. And I was thinking of doing the same thing with MetaZoo. However, I thought it wouldn't be fair for the game because, to be very honest with you, I am not as, I wouldn't say I'm an expert of Flesh and Blood, but I'm not as knowledgeable with MetaZoo as I am with Flesh and Blood. So that was kind of unfair to the game, so I decided I wouldn't do that. I would instead give you my opinions with respect to certain criteria. And in fact, some of those criteria I am not in this position to talk to you about, because I want to do full disclosure here, tell you right away that although I own a couple of boxes from each of the sets that have come out so far for MetaZoo, I actually have never opened a booster box, actually never opened a pack. I haven't felt the cards, I haven't had them in my hands. So some of those criteria that I use to evaluate a TCG game, such as card quality, artwork, the set size, and so on and so forth, those are things that I am not capable of speaking to you about. And honestly, I want to be fair, like I mentioned, for the game, so I will speak about what I know. And I do know quite a bit, though, because I've been, all over the web, finding out, reading articles, reading about the game, seeing, talking to people in TCGs, local game store owners. I've seen fellow content creators talk about the game, and so on and so forth. So there are aspects of the game that I have very opinionated about. And as you saw on the thumbnail, you will see that although there are I'm optimistic with respect to certain factors, positive. I'm also negative with the other factors, and I want to get into that right away. So on the positive side, what I think MetaZoo has going for it, basically, is its popularity, mainly due to the ton of promotional items that they have out there. Right from the Kickstarter that got going last year, they started coming out with a lot of add-ons, promotional items, and they are everywhere. Their marketing is fabulous. They have now even a partnership with Topps. The game is distributed in large stores all over the place. They are involved in they're present at fairs, Comic-Cons, and so on and so forth. So in terms of marketing, publicity, being out there, they are tops, as we can say. Right? A1, I have nothing to say against that. And actually, that's really good and bodes well for the collectability side of the product, investability side of the product, but not so much for we'll get to that in a minute, to the player base or playability aspect of the product, which is the part of it that I like a little less. So in terms of collectability, investability, I mean, for the next foreseeable future, it has a good potential, and I like the game for that. But that's about where my enthusiasm for the game stops, because I have other points that I would like to talk about here. that I feel are, you know, a little weak and that would be important for the long-term viability. Because when I'm looking at a TCG, really I'm interested in finding out what's the long-term viability of the product. That's what I like to look at, and I evaluate certain factors in terms of to come to a conclusion, right? So the OP, what we also call the organized play, so far has been practically non-existent. Now I don't know what their plans are with respect to that, but that is definitely a weak point for the game, and hopefully that will be solved in the very near future. Because I think long-term, again, that not only do you need the certain factors to be involved in terms of like investability, like I said, and collectability, you also need a player base. You need people to be playing it, to be talking about it in the future if you want it to last, you know, for a certain amount of time. All right, so that is something that needs to be corrected or improved, I should say. Then there is a few things, nicks and knacks, that occurred in terms of product availability at the beginning. I know for a fact that the original distributor, the distributor that was supposed to be the product distributor for MetaZoo in Canada, got changed last minute, and then there were some distribution problems with that availability in TCGs for the beginning of for the first sets, actually. So it was a real mess with that. I don't know if there were communication problems, what happened, but it was kind of a mess. So that, you know, didn't start things off well. And anyway, in Canada for MetaZoo. I don't know about you guys all over the rest of the world, but and also we did not get, as content creators, very much. How can I say? We didn't get to exchange with the people at MetaZoo about what was coming along when they had their Kickstarter. So I mean, Flesh and Blood reached out to me. I don't know, I can't speak for other content creators. I know that some of them have been in touch with them, but Genesis Battle of Champions was in touch, but MetaZoo not at all. New TCGs coming out, they're constantly in touch with us content creators to know what we think of their product, and if we will be talking about their product on our channels, but not so for MetaZoo. So it's the same thing here. I don't know what happened. They were very strong with initially, well, they still are, like I said, with promotional items, marketing, and so on and so forth, but not in terms of other aspects that I consider pretty important. So I wasn't able to find out enough about them to give them a fair evaluation, and that's why I'm not covering all these points in detail. Like I said, all I can say is give you what I think is the outlook for them. 3 to 5 years, I am not at all worried. I mean, with all the hype that's out there for MetaZoo, I'm convinced that they will be doing well. There is a lot of interest for it, and obviously people are putting their money, some people are investing in it, and that's all fine. But the reason why I think that it needs to have a player base is that it's all fine, investability, but there are a lot of things out there in life that you can invest in, and MetaZoo being one of them. But I'm afraid that after a certain amount of time, maybe 5 to 10 years down the road, there will be a MetaZoo fatigue that will happen if there are not enough players involved actually playing the game. So I hope that doesn't happen. I hope I'm wrong for them, because I wish all TG creators and games out there the best success possible. But between you and me, my long-term outlook is not very favorable for this game, and that's one of the reasons why I am not covering the MetaZoo on this channel. But you guys will be able to give me your own comments here in the comments section below. Let me know what you think about my comments regarding MetaZoo, and if you asked me if I would be betting a lot on the long term, you know, if the game will still be around in 10 years, well, I certainly wouldn't bet my house on it. Don't think I'd bet my car on it either. I wouldn't even bet my cat on it. I don't have a cat, but I wouldn't make any bet on the fact that it will last that long anyway. So, but maybe I'm wrong then again. So anyway, I hope you liked my the prospect or the opinions I've been giving you here about it. Don't forget the thumbs up if you've liked, and also I'm anxious to see what you guys are thinking about this on your side, about what the prospects of a long-term viability for MetaZoo are, and maybe that if we do get some interesting comments, maybe you guys will pull me back in here, and I will be making another video sometime about MetaZoo, because I was thinking when I started this video that this was a one one-time thing where I give you my opinion about it because I've been asked about it, and that would be it. But maybe not. We'll see in the future. Anyway, and while we wait for another video, while I prepare something else for you, until then, stay safe out there. Help the people that are around you. Stay safe also, and we'll see you very soon. Bye bye for now.